Okay, so next will be drawing of the legs and painting torso and arms. I got a Timberwolf here. It's not entirely finished, but you'll see that the color of the torso and arms and etc. Will change because now we start highlighting it. And what we have to pick is an angle from which the light should shine on the miniature. We pick it now because it has great influence on the cockpit here. This is a very special cockpit, but I got some other mechs. Here's another Mad Cat, and you see the light comes from this direction. So its brightest point is the brightest part of the cockpit is pointing to the light source. And we got a mini here with a light source from straight forward and above. So the cockpit glare is painted entirely different. There is no gloss varnish on it. That what looks like a reflection on the canopy is entirely painted on. And we'll do that with our Timberwolf here as well, in the same style. It's also work in progress here, but it will always it will also be a black and white cockpit style. Should look realistic. So just have to give my colors a good shake. I got such a vortex mixer here, which is absolutely great. You put the color on it and it shakes the color as hell. Really great. And my chair needs some lube, I think. So we put some paint from our pot on our wet palette. So some water. Too much. And because I'm a friend of glazing on my highlights, I got some color medium here, and that makes it easier to get some translucency into the colors. So mix it. Okay, and we're good to go. I think on this mini we'll pick a light source also from the rear above, and that for us that it's important to begin glazing our highlights so the highlighted parts are on the back. I'm doing this because I think the cockpit glare looks best from that angle on that mini. You see the point where I lift my brush is the one with the most color remaining on the mini. So I'm dragging it here. Got some color in our recesses, but that's absolutely no big deal, because wipe our brush and let it soak the color back. Okay, as mentioned, light source from here, so okay, you see my hand. That's not what I wanted. Light source from here, so we need a highlighting along this line back. That's what we're doing now. What you see now is that the color, when freshly applied, is a lot brighter, but it'll darken when it dries. You see I drag the color a little bit to the front because this is our axis. Okay. We just highlight the back sides here, but here in this areas that lie a little bit deeper, we have to know that they are in the shadows of these panels, like this one. So we have to put our highlights in the opposite direction to simulate this panel, given here a shadow. And here's our axis. You see that I always rest my brush hand somewhere to have a very steady hand. this little L-shaped, because we got a highlight here and there, and we glaze it together, all those layers, later, so you don't have those hard steps here. What might be interesting for you is that the color I got on my brush here is the color we painted the Mini. And the fact that we use that pure color to highlight is that the shade darkened the Mini that much already. And always put our highlights where the light comes from. There are many people that use dry brushing for highlighting, and that's absolutely not what I like, because dry brushing creates an uneven patina on your Mini. That's one thing, and the next thing is that you usually got highlights from just everywhere, and that doesn't help creating a realistic look. And for those of you watching this, and I'm not used to miniature painting, maybe you get an idea why it takes just so long to paint a Mini. There are people, they say, oh yes, I paint this and that. Oh, there's some stuff I have to fix. Take my chisel. Let's say, yeah, it's no big deal. I paint a Mini in 1 hour or 2 hours maybe, and you never have a result like we will have on this miniature. I'm just a hobbyist, so I don't do this for money or in any professional way. It's just a hobby. And when Travis asked me if I could do this for him, I said, yeah, why not? Because yeah, I just liked it. And if you go and commission somebody to paint a miniature, this will be usually a pretty expensive thing. Or you go there and pick one of those, I do this for $15, guys, and yeah, the quality is $15, yes. You won't get any more. Because you gotta pay for all the stuff you use, and $15 is just a single brush. Good. I think I'll continue painting the first set of highlights, and I'm coming back to you when done. Okay, so the first set of highlighting is done, and you already get an idea. Here's the other mini again, so there's a lot more to come. So, Screaming Skull is the next color I use, because this color is pretty... It looks... The color tone looks pretty familiar when it comes to this, so can mix them easily together to create, whoops, a first highlight color. And it's just, hello, autofocus, hello, okay, it's just a little lighter than the rest. We don't use this one, we just use it for mixing. Quickly wash my brush to not kill it. And we're good to go again. Check it. Oh. Some more medium. And go. The area we highlight is now smaller than before, so we're working to our line here, our imaginary line that will be the brightest. Time to put a new paper on my palette. I'm sorry for those focus issues we got here. I'm recording this with my iPhone. And I got no fancy camera here, which I could use for this. Okay. What we do not want is a brush that is too wet when highlighting this. We want it to
yes. How should I say that? We want to do the right amount of dryness maybe on the brush, so we got more control. I need place on my palette there, so we got more control on the areas we have, and we want to highlight here. Here you can see we paint outside rim here and the inside rim here on the opposite side, because the light hits here and there, but not here. And the light comes, shadow, bright side. So here's our highlight. It's another thing you cannot do with a dry brush. You will always highlight the edges, but no way to get into the recesses to highlight them where needed. You see the color that I apply is very translucent, and this is something you can do best with a medium as a thinner, because a color medium is basically color without pigments. If we used water for this, it simply would not work that way. So if we just touch the edges, like I do now with the set of a brush, this is called edge highlighting. This is something we do when we're as a last step of our highlighting process, edge highlighting. But at the moment, we still highlight flat surfaces here. Okay. Here, light hits here. It's funny. Here is the left side because of the shadows that are casted by this raised edge here. Here it's this side because there are no shadows casted on them. But it's just the lower part here, because this also casts shadows. And we have to understand that light and shadow doesn't work on a miniature as on a life-size object. So there is no other way than painting those highlights and shadows to make it look as realistic as possible. It's a size 0 brush that I use here. First highlighting step was a size 1 brush. Oops. Too much paint on the brush. Too thin. Runs into the recesses. We don't want that. Get out. It's okay so far. There will be always a lot of fixing in the end. You cannot paint the mini just perfect in one run. And please forgive me if my English sucks, but I'm just not used to speak English a lot. Where's the light? There's the light. Here we go. Trying to cover the faults of the scalp as good as possible, but it's not easy. That's the side. No light touches the object directly, but we do need to put some very discreet highlights there to make it pop a little bit. So it'll be just some edge highlighting that I do here. Okay. Just some quick fixing here. we're going brighter.
Hello, camera.
Some more of the brighter color here.
Wiping our pencil. Our pencil. Wiping our brush. Sorry. Wiping our brush. And
Cleaning it a little.
yeah, maybe just
Put a new word into the English language, the pencil. I'm German, you know, and we call those
things pencil. So sometimes we got, do you see it? Yes, some hairs, some bristles.
don't want to follow the rest of them, and we could just pick it. Boop. And it's, come on. And gone.
Bye bye. All right.
More highlighting. Too much color loaded. Too bright. Blending together. It's very time consuming what I'm doing here. But in the end it's worth it.
Good.
because we're very bright now with our highlights, the areas not become more narrow but shorter. The first highlight I painted until here, and now I end here. Very small areas. Need some more medium. Just for my brush. And what you see is that the color is really very, very translucent that I use here. You can see it here. Okay. So as a Mac is usually not a very glossy machine, we cannot use highlights that are very bright on the edges, because that would create a look of glossiness, and so we won't get brighter than this color. And yeah, you see that is just a couple of highlighting layers we used here, but when you paint a bigger model, you will need many more. Many more. Okay. The translucency of the color we use allows us to use the underlying colors to interact in a certain way with the color we paint now. The steps we had, a darker color and a lighter color, they create a harsh transition, a step, and with this glazing technique we use here, with this very thinned down color, highlights both underlighting colors, and this is something we can use to our advantage, and to make all this here a little bit smoother, I will use this advantage. So I'm blending our layers together, but there's a simple reason why I don't do this today. It's because my phone told me the echoes, the battery is low. Yeah, and it's 10 p.m. here in Germany, so perfect time to go to sleep now. But no, one small thing we still can do. We take black, just a little bit, and we use black as an underpaint for our metallic parts. So we got a muzzle here, and where's the bigger one? Yes, there's one missing. This one here is missing on the smaller scope. There it should be. So yes, we create one It's no problem, we can do that. Here, there.
That focus drives me nuts.
Here. To thin it down a bit. Okay. Some black here.
Yep, that's it.